A special chili sauce is prepared and beef chunks are marinated and wrapped in banana leaf before cooking it in a Dutch oven. Ole! Today on Cravings and Adventures, we're going to be making barbacoa. Why am I so excited? I love barbacoa. It's beef that's cooked in a chili marinade and it's cooked till it completely just falls apart. And you can use this for tacos or whatever you like. I'm going to be making this wrapped in banana leaves. Typically in Mexico, they actually cook this in large pits in the ground. They had coal at the bottom and they cook this barbacoa low and slow till it falls apart. But obviously I'm not going to be digging any pits in my backyard. So I'm going to be cooking this in the oven to achieve the same or similar effect. Before I go any further with this recipe, do make sure you subscribe to my channel and make sure to ring that bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Now, let's get cooking. I'm going to start with the chilies. I'm going to be using a combination of Guajillo and Ancho Chillies here. I have 3 of each, and the first thing we want to do is warm them up to enhance the flavor. If you want the weights for the Guajillo Chillies, they are 0.092 ounces and 26 grams. And the Ancho Chillies are 1.4 ounces and 38 grams. Most of the time I don't weigh them, but sometimes you may get some that are really small or really large, so the weights are here if you want to make sure. Once they are warm, and don't let these burn, I'm just going to insert them into some hot water and I'm going to allow this to boil for 30 minutes. They will float to the top, so you can gently push them down with your spoon. After 30 minutes, I'm going to remove these and allow them to cool. If you notice, the Ancho Chillies will almost double in size. In my food processor, I'm going to add 20 peppercorns. I'm also going to add 20 allspice berries. These are Jamaican allspice berries and they are perfectly good to use in this recipe. I'm also going to add 2.5 teaspoons of kosher or coarse sea salt. This coarse salt will help to grind everything together. I'm going to throw in 5 cloves of garlic, and next I'm going to add in all the chilies. Now you can do this before if you like, but I prefer to cut off the stem later and remove any excess seeds at this point, and I'm going to get all of the skins into the blender. I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of oil, a half cup of onion, a half cup of tomato, a half teaspoon of clove powder, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, 1/3 of a cup of vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar, a half teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 cups of water. I'm just going to be using the water that I boiled the chilies in. And I'm going to turn this on and blend it to a smooth paste. In my saute pot, I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of oil and I'm going to add all of the sauce in so it can cook. Keep the lid off your saute pot handy and covered ASAP as it's going to splutter, and if you're not prepared, it will make a mess. Let this boil for about 10 minutes and stir it at intervals, always protecting yourself. You want this sauce to thicken and it's going to start to look darker. After 10 minutes, turn off the heat and allow it to cool. You can double or triple this recipe and store it in your fridge or even freeze it for later. This is not just a marinade, but it makes a great sauce as well. Now let's talk about the meat. The best cut of meat for this is beef cheek. I've made this with beef cheek before and the results are soft as the meat is very fatty. Beef cheek is very hard to find though, so I'm just going to be using sirloin tip today. This is 3 pounds and I'm going to cut this into 4 pieces so it's easier to cook. The marinade and sauce is now cool and I'm going to pour this over the pieces of meat and allow it to marinate. A traditional barbacoa is wrapped in avocado leaves and it's then placed over hot coal underground and cooked overnight. Of course, we cannot be digging holes in our backyards and avocado leaves are hard to find, if not impossible, so I will be using banana leaf. I was lucky to find fresh leaves in the Sri Lankan store. If you can't find it fresh, many sell it frozen as well. If you can't find banana leaves at all, don't worry, foil works just as well. I'm going to be cutting this into 4 pieces and I'm going to remove the center spine. I think I should have bought 2 leaves, but I'm just going to make this work. I have my heavy bottom Dutch oven here and I'm going to wrap each piece in the banana leaf. Because these are so small, I will rewrap them later in foil. This is actually better as the fresh leaves can be expensive and this way I will get the taste from the leaf and the seal from the foil. For liquid, I'm going to add a bottle of beer right into the pot. I'm using non-alcoholic beer, but you can also use water if you prefer. I will be throwing this liquid out later. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees and I'm going to cook this low and slow without touching it for 4 hours. After 4 hours, let's take a look. The meat is wonderfully delicious and it just falls apart. I love to shred this and serve it still in the banana leaf. Topped with more of that delicious sauce. This is a fiesta in your mouth. Ole! Thank you so much for joining me on Kravings for Adventures. I hope you enjoyed this delicious recipe for barbacoa. I know in my household, everybody loves it and they do love taco night. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, guys, and make sure to ring the bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And if you love my videos and my recipes, share them with your family and friends so they can enjoy them as well. And hop over to all of my social channels and follow me there. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Until I see you next time, do take care. Bye.